The whole hood banging, 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 banging. I remember when the ATL wasn't banging, now they banging, 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 banging. Niggas throwing sets and them bullets start ringing, bitches banging, 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 banging. I remember when the ATL wasn't banging, now they banging, 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 banging. Niggas throwing sets and them bullets start ringing like bang, bang, ho, bang, bang, bitch, nigga, bang, 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 ho. I'm in the cool, smoking on weed like a Snoop, mad in the pocket off a juice. I got the juice, fucking my enemies like it or not, ain't no blocking the truth. I'm at the roof, with my AK like I'm Malcolm, I'm ready to cock in the shoot. This information is simple for niggas who dumb and don't really know how to compute. I ain't got problems with niggas who blood in the crib, but homie, I do know this. Young niggas figure to life and they wanna begin it, but really they don't know shit. I'm on that dolo shit, solo dolo bitch. Mentally I'm so sick, I got everything needed, I'm ready. If not, it is something my hoe gon' get. When will niggas learn this song? All my life I stood alone. Don't be joining cliques because you scared to fight and hold your own. Not one still fuck with me, I don't give a fuck what rappers don't. Niggas know I don't slick this, if I came at you, you be gone, bitch. I remember when the ATL wasn't banging, now they banging, 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 banging. Niggas throwing sets and them bullets start ringing, bitches banging, 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 banging. I remember when the ATL wasn't banging, now they banging, 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 banging. Niggas throwing sets and them bullets start ringing like bang, bang, ho, bang, bang, this nigga bang, 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 ho. 24/7 I'm smoking and drinking, bitch, I keep the fire, fire, fire. Really I wanna be sober, but I hate to see the world high, high, high. Suckers don't know shit about the world, thinking they got a third eye. You can't tell a nigga shit by nothing, but when he get murdered, we quit. Shit is old. Some of you niggas saying that the leaders are following hoes. You got the blind trying to lead the blind. We in a position with nowhere to go. Throwing them gang signs, but them niggas abandon you after you go up the road. Get an interrogation with a dirty Harry, he gon' turn your friend into a foe. Why they been doing this shit to manipulate niggas for centuries? That's the fire. They know we came and it really exists and they set up another black messiah. That's that hustle over your head shit. Plot to kill you dead shit. Think about the matrix you envision for you fail, bitch. I remember when the ATL wasn't banging, now they banging, 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 banging. Niggas throwing sets and them bullets start ringing, bitches banging, 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 banging. I remember when the ATL wasn't banging, now they banging, 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 banging. Niggas throwing sets and them bullets start ringing like bang, bang, ho, bang, bang, bitch, nigga bang, 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 ho, bang, ho.
Ruled.
How the fuck you gonna overrule the Constitution, man?
Defense, keep the defendant silent.
Bitch, yeah.
Hate me now, hate me now. Enemies gon' hate me now. Enemies gon' hate me now. Hate me now. Enemies gon' hate me now. Hate me now. Enemies. Busters got some mana, but I handle that, so hate me now. Got the Louis slugger, you better cover when I hit a foul. You better be so quick to get it hip when the pistol show. All my niggas get me creeping slow, and we on that blow. Told the two that I use, searching for an easy man. Demon in me wakes, now I shake and don't feel okay. Yeah, I'm terrified in my mind, so corrupted too. Feel so blizzo, hizzo, off that snizzo, but still keep it smooth. Evil
them niggas in the car ready to shoot shit up. You mention me, boy, I'm a killer, best not test your luck. Yo, bitch, a groupie, all up in my DMs tryna fuck. These niggas lying in they songs, you know they capping. I'm on the block, I put in work, you niggas slacking. My nigga get jammed up and then we go and post bail. But if your nigga run up, we gon' send his ass to hell. Ain't have a ruler, kept a Ruger when I was in school. I'm hitting ops with this stick like I'm playing pool. Handy manny in this bitch, we got all the tools. You hate me now, damn nigga, I thought we was cool.
Yeah. MD checking in once again. MD checking in once again. MD Thoughtbot. I ain't did one of these in a minute, man. Hey, I said, hell, why not? Especially what I heard earlier today. What's up with everybody, man? Again, you know I be on the road, man. I'm in the box, so if I go out, just let me know in the comments, and I'll try to readjust or do what I can to make sure the sound quality is up to par. So let's talk about it. Y'all see the title, right? You know, it's the old adage that certain people like to use in order to try to sidestep what reparations is. Whether it's Tom or Bob or Richard or Kelly, it's the old adage. Well, my family never owned slaves, so why should I have to pay reparations? Same adage. You know what I'm saying? It's old, and it lets me know that people don't really understand constitutionality. All these people running around talking about reparations are something that's paid through the people that institutionalize the system of slavery. No, it's not. It's not what reparations is. Reparations is a debt owed by the federal government. That's just what it is. It's not directly owed from Tom or Dick or Larry. You know what I'm saying? Or hell, the Hildebrands or the damn Rosa Crew. I don't give a damn who you are, what status you have in the country. If you're an American taxpayer, for the most part, you owe reparations. I say for the most part because the way it's set up in a lot of different strategies with some of these legislative bodies that are pushing reparations, black people would be for a time period tax exempt on certain regulations. So yeah, man, we got to stop with the bullshit, man. We got to get in a book and understand what certain instances are when it comes to what we all deem as reparations. I don't give a damn if you're rich or you poor. That's just what it is. There's a certain thing in the 13th Amendment, Section 2, talking about the incidents and badges of slavery. What does that mean? It's not talking about the institution of slavery itself. It's talking about the incidents and badges from slavery, i.e. the way we were emancipated. The acclamations in which we were put into the society. The 13th Amendment says the Congress is authorized to eliminate the incidents and badges of slavery. One of those processes in elimination was the Freedmen's Bureau Act 1865, 1866. I mean, it's as simple as that. But a lot of people show their racial hand when they come out and say these dumbass arguments talking about, well, my family never owned slaves, so why should I have to pay reparations? My family got here in the late 1800s, and we were simple farm folks in the Midwest. In fact, my family denounced slavery. Who gives a damn? At the end of the day, whether it's Jim Bob and Sarah Lee in the hills of fucking West Virginia, or if it's the Hildebrands or the J.P. Morgans up in some high rise, the commonality is when those people get their income notices, at the end of it, it says what? Tax. That's just what it is. Just like it says on yours and mine, tax. Black Sun make a whole argument about the Ukraine funding. Tax. Social Security, tax. Certain social safety net programs, i.e. WIC, food stamps, and Medicaid, tax. So what are we talking about here? Everything that you argue about, tax. Now, from a political aspect, yeah, you can vote in certain people that stands on the ideology that you have. But at the end of the day, those people who didn't vote for that, guess what? Tax. So we have to stop making dumb ass arguments and contradicting ourselves based on who we think we are versus what we believe, because it's a belief at the end of the day. It's either we're going to stand on the Constitution or we're not. And so long, when it comes to these ultra right wing conservatives, they show their hands by contradicting themselves versus their political ideology and the Constitution. Black Son on here talking about being an atheist and blah 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 this and that, and I don't follow the group thing. But every time he try to argue something, is set up in conspiracy. Now again, I like G. Edward Griffin. G. Edward Griffin did a lot for the libertarian mindset. But that creature from Jekyll Island shit, we know the history on it, but we're not going to base it in some type of conspiratorial theory in which is wrong for you and me. Hell, when it comes to reparations, we should be using the Federal Reserve. Because all this shit is made up. It's made up money. Go read the deficit mill. Stephanie Kelton. This shit's been proven already. I've talked about this already before. If you want to look at it from a deficit aspect, you'll get more of a pillow, more of a cushion using the Federal Reserve than anything else. Hell, the government does it all the time. They're not using true value in terms of supply and demand with products when it comes to GDP. How do I know this, MD? Well, because they use subsidies and tariffs on different companies to ebb and flow the criteria of the economic gesture of the product. The shit is fake. So give me my fake ass money and cut my check in reparations, and guess who's gonna pay for it? You, me, in terms of how do we itemize certain taxes. But again, I can't even say that because a lot of reparations task force are drafted in their legislation for us to be tax exempt for a certain amount of time to alleviate that. But just speaking generally, you, me, Jim Bob, Rosie, Tom, Dick, Harry, Mr. Hildebrand, fucking Rothschild, whoever the fuck. If you're an American citizen, you're a taxpayer, you paying reparations. I don't give a damn if you got here yesterday. Because it's not on you, it's on the federal government. And you pay into the federal government, like it or not. So we got to stop bullshitting, man. If we gonna understand what the dynamics of politics is, we got to understand shit like that. It's fundamental. I mean, real talk is elementary. And then we got supposed free thinkers saying shit like, well, why should Kelly have to pay into reparations? She's white middle class. She didn't have anything to do with slavery. Who gives a damn? That ain't what it's about. It's about the government. You pay into the government. Therefore, you paying. It's as simple as that. And this is coming from a libertarian who thinks less government is the ultimate factor. But when it comes to this issue with reparations, the fact of the matter is, it goes off the incidents and badges of slavery, not slavery itself. I don't give a damn who benefited from slavery. The incidents and badges are identified by how we exited out of slavery, not slavery itself. And you can't link it into racial harms that happened after the incidents and badges, i.e. Jim Crow and stuff like that. We're not getting paid because white people didn't like us during the fucking Jim Crow era. We got to start thinking in legal terms, man. But because we got one side of black folks that can't get out of the facade of race, then we got another group of black folks that can't fathom that I guess you would say a particular group of people are in an instance of the outlook, how we look at what legal status is. Niggas find themselves in between a rock and a hard place. I understand that I'm American. I'm a day one American. But my status as an American has specific implications on it. You got to understand that. Like it has to be understood. And that special ramification on that status is an entitlement of the United States government. Are you a taxpayer of the United States government? Well, yes, I am. Well, your ass paying reparations. It's as simple as that, folks. Go read the second founding. Talking about Reconstruction. I continue to tell people, Reconstruction is the most important era of this American culture that we live in, of American history. It's the Reconstruction era. because so many things happened so fast, and it went over a lot of people's well, I ain't gonna say a lot of people, a lot of black folks head, because we weren't politically in tune, because we were fresh out of slavery. So I'm not saying that it's our fault that we're in the position that we're in, but what I'm saying is now is the time to get politically in tune with what our political reality is as individual U.S. citizens in this country. I mean, that's just a fact. And stop using political talking points to try to move the goalposts and sway particular people into a notion that they're not involved in political reality, because they definitely involved in this political reality. That's why we got to get our heads out our conservative or liberal asses, and put our eyes on the Constitution and what that say, because that's all I give a damn about. Put our eyes on certain legislation that's into law, and stop trying to politically spin it, because that's what's happening right now. So here's the deal. I thought I had a show tonight. I don't. So Black Son, if you want to set up a show for tonight, and listen, and here's another thing. Last night we was on the show. It got crowded from a vocal aspect. So I left out, right? And I came back in and I just started listening in, especially when Chatham came on. That they had me rolling. But listen, when it comes to these panels that we having, we got to stick to a topic and stop trying to move goalposts to try to make a point. So tonight, if you want to do the show tonight, cool. That's cool. If you and Che want to chop it up about a certain topic, especially when it comes to reparations, cool. I'll be in the building. But listen, if you ain't got your shit together on what needs to be said, just leave it alone. Because everybody know when it comes to these reparations, I bring sources that can't be denied. So if we're going to have the conversation tonight, if we're going to do the panel tonight, let's keep it structured in that aspect. Because I don't want to find myself in the midst of nigger babble or cracker babble. Because there was a lot of cracker babbling going on that panel last night as well. I don't want to find myself in the midst of that. So if we're going to roll on reparations, let's roll on reparations. That's where I'm at with it. So yeah, I'm willing to do the show tonight. We can chop it up. But we're going to chop it up on reality. We're going to chop it up on what's what. So yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say, man. Hey, I guess everybody will check this out later on. I ain't have to stay up here too long. I just had to make a point. Reparations is a debt owed from the federal government. Or if you are an American citizen, you pay into the federal government. Therefore, you will be paying into reparations. It's as simple as that. It's not a hard concept to fathom. Even if we go through the Federal Reserve, that shit gonna come back on you one way or another. There's no specific family paying reparations. That's dumb shit. Reparations is not for the action, it's for the incidents and badges thereof. Simple concept. So with that being said, I'm out, man. Like ain't nothing else to say, and nothing left to say. Everybody know how passionate I am about reparations, so I had to make that point. And reparations is not about race. That lets you know that it's not about the action of slavery, because reparations is based on a particular status of a people, the emancipated ones, the freedmen. I mean, it's simple legislative logic, y'all. Simple legislative logic. People show their racism when they say dumb shit like that. That they family didn't own slaves and blah, blah. What does that have to do with the legislation thereof? Nothing. You're just showing your blatant racism through the lens of a political ideology. That's all you're doing. But I don't give a shit about your racism, because I can show you the legislation that trumps your racism. So that's all I got, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I see. Y'all watch it later. But Black Sun, if you set up the show tonight, cool, let's do it. But let's keep to the topic. And with that, man, I'm out.